What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the most amazing homesteading channel on the planet that typically has nothing whatsoever to do with homesteading. You know, in the past, a lot of people have complained because I don't stay on one general theme. I'm all over the place. We talk about everything here from UFOs and aliens and abductions to Bigfoot, Sasquatches, to ghosts, to paranormal, to sporting events, world travel, health issues. Listen, no human being is a one-trick pony. If they are, they've got to be pretty boring, and I probably wouldn't want to sit down and have a conversation with them. I preface by saying all that is because I received an email that I think is an urgent warning to all of us to make sure we can figure out some way that we and the older loved ones that we love, sounds redundant, but so what, so am I, that this doesn't happen to them either. This is a tragic tale. One of the things that I've been mentioning on the channel here just in the last few days, because somebody kept bringing it up and they wanted it talked about, so I spoke about it, and that's this thing they call MAIDs in Canada. That's medically assisted deaths. I guess it's legal there nationally. It's legal in a couple of European nations, and I think it's legal in about 10 U.S. states. And at first you think, well, gosh, if I was in pain and I was miserable, I'd maybe want to take that way out too. Then I got this email. Listen to this. Now I've got to kind of hold it at an odd angle. It's very bright out here today. You can probably hear some wind behind me. That's why I'm not up in the woods. I don't want a limb falling on me. So I've got to hold this in my shadow to read it. But listen to this. This is like a wake-up call. Our writer states, "Hi, Kevin. I give you permission to share this story, but do not use my name. Please keep me anonymous because, as you'll be able to figure out soon enough by reading my narrative, this is going to be quite the legal crap storm to come." They used a different word. And by the way, guys, if you have a story that you want to email to the channel, the email address is crazylake@mail.com. I prefer your personal stories, your real personal experiences you've had, not links to some other dude's YouTube video or some woman's. I can get that on my own. I want your stories, like this one. Continuing with this one. I'm a 67 years young divorced female. I live in a remote area in Canada, and due to the upcoming legal situation I'm about to drop on my half-sister, her lover, a very crooked and murderous doctor, and the entire socialized healthcare system of the great nation of Canada, I will not tell you exactly where I am located. Yes, Canada is a great nation, but boy, and especially under our current leadership, have we really lost our way. So to cut to it, after my divorce more than 10 years ago, I moved in with my aged father. I didn't need to for financial reasons. I just thought, why not sell the house? I got to keep it because my husband just left, taking nothing really but his freedom and his half his age secretary from the bank with him. And my father at the time was already in his 80s. My mother died when I was a child, and my father remarried, but his second wife, the mother of my half-sister, died about 10 years prior to my divorce from breast cancer. Aged as he was, father was living alone and taking great care of himself, but he was up there in years, and I just felt more comfortable about the whole thing. Anyway, father and I had been doing great, staying healthy and fit, taking regular walks through the forests that surrounded our home, raising most of our own food by way of gardening and keeping a couple of dozen chickens, goats for both meat and milk, and we always allowed a neighbor down the road to hunt on the back of father's property, simply in exchange for some of the venison he harvested. That gentleman kept us plenty stocked up in venison. My father was in excellent condition, all the way up into his early 90s, when all of a sudden my half-sister, who I've always had limited contact with because she's always been toxic, convinced him to go see this new doctor. A female doctor who I will not name here, but who is about to get named in a wrongful death lawsuit. So here's what happened. I took father to see this woman, and she had the most likable bedside manner. I mean, father and I both fell in love with her. And after some random tests, she came back and tells us that father was terminal. Yes, that's the exact term she used. She said that even though father appeared to be in perfect health, that he was going to soon go down and go down hard and experience more pain and suffering than could be imagined. Kevin, as you might imagine, this completely terrified us. She wanted to have father admitted for observation, and of course we said yes. And that, looking back now, I realized was the beginning of the end. Over about a 10-day period, I saw my father go from a man who could easily walk 3 miles a day through the woods and still split and stack his own firewood as a 92-year-old to someone who was bedridden, could hardly communicate, and was praying for death. Anyway, when this doctor lady approached us and had the conversation with us about MAIDs, Canada's medically assisted death, as painful as it was, we jumped at the opportunity to end my father's suffering. After signing off on it, my father passed away within 48 hours. This was last year. Well, about 3 months ago, an older neighbor lady from down the road from us came to me for help. She's been a widow for nearly 20 years, and her health had really started to deteriorate, so I told her I'd take her in to see the doctor that had treated my father. Because as devastating as that situation was, I really did like her and her bedside manner, and I wanted to get this old lady some help. So I take the old woman to the medical clinic where this doctor works, only to find out the doctor had left about 6 months prior. Why? Get this, Kevin. Because her fiance had just inherited over $1 million and they ran off to the U.S. together. Guess who her fiance was, Kevin? My half-sister. Yes, my half-sister and her lover, this doctor woman, schemed to kill my father by way of the MAID system here in Canada so that my half-sister could get her greedy little hands on father's money. Sure, I got my half too, just over $1 million, but I would rather have my father back. My father was never showy. He was not what I've heard you refer to as a yuppie on your channel. He never earned a lot of money, but he never spent more than he earned. He saved, and when his savings would build up, he'd invest in quality stocks that paid dividends. And after 30 years of doing so, he accumulated a net worth of a couple of $1 million. I always knew this was the case, and I always assumed that my greedy little half-sister knew, but I had no idea she would ever conceive of a plan to literally murder our father in order to cash out on her inheritance early. Kevin, I tell you this not to sound like a Jerry Springer show, but to warn you and all of your followers about medically assisted dying. I am convinced my father was perfectly healthy when he first walked into that medical facility, as recommended he do by my half-sister, and it was all part of a plan to lure him in there and murder him. I know that MAIDs is legal in some states in your country, the U.S., but I'm telling you, you folks do not want this legalized nationally. As much as I hope to win my lawsuit and hopefully even get criminal charges brought against both my half-sister and her lover, the not-so-good doctor, the way the system is set up here in Canada, I doubt it will ever happen. These medical professionals up here are completely covered by the federal laws that are in place, and it makes me wonder just how many of them have murdered people in the past who would have lived on for many, many years more if it weren't in the economic best interest of them or someone else for those folks to die. MAIDs is nothing more than making murder legal, and please, everyone around the world needs to take this seriously. I love your show, Kevin, and I look forward to every episode. Thank you for taking the time to address an issue that has affected me so much personally. Anonymous. Man, I've been doing this for 15 years. Yeah. That is one of the most terrible emails I have ever received. I've never heard anything like that. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you would think you'd see on a streaming TV series or even a movie. But to happen in real life, again, folks, if you have any kind of story, it doesn't have to be gruesomely tragic like that, but if it's just interesting, if it has to do with, say, the recent drones, the strange fog, how it might have affected you physically, paranormal, UFOs, anything mysterious, please email it to the channel if you would like to have others know about it. Again, the email address is crazylake@mail.com. You must give us permission to use your story, and if you want to be kept anonymous like the last sender, let us know and we won't use your name. If you don't care about us using your name, that's fine. FYI, we are wrapping up Volume 9 of the True Haunting series of all these thousands of stories that have come in from all over the world. For many years now, they've been coming in. We put them together. Those True Haunting volumes are available on Amazon in both print and Kindle. We've published 8 so far. Number 9 is coming soon. So after reading this email, I went through the comment section of my videos, and I just put in the search term MAIDs, because I was like, is this an isolated incident? And what else are people saying about this? So I got a few. I just copied and pasted quickly to be able to come up and back up this anonymous emailer story. Here's one from Heather Gibson 53 from a day ago. So if that's you, Heather, shout out to you. And again, this was posted publicly as a comment, so it's already out there. But in case you don't read the comments, Heather wrote, I was born in Canada, and I tend to keep an eye on the news. Number one, the censorship is crazy. I have watched some programs on MAIDs in Canada, and it looks like a lot of people that are encouraged don't have enough money, and they're older, and the doctors are making it seem like it's a good thing. Did you see the commercials? It is definitely part of a bigger plan. I've not seen any of the commercials because I'm down here in the U.S. I'm not up there in Canada. But from that comment that Heather left, it makes it sound as if the socialized healthcare system up there, and the system is actually marketing this concept like, I don't know, the capitalist corporations down here might market their Coca-Cola or their Dodge Ram pick-em-up trucks. You know, we see commercials marketing products because we're a capitalist society. Up there under socialism, it looks like they are marketing the concept of medically assisted living to get rid of the unnecessary eaters. The older folks who are in poor health don't have money. Wow. Moving on. Another one. This is again from Equestrian Women. I read one of her comments the other day. This is a different one. This isn't the same one. This is the user on this channel, the viewer who actually brought this to my attention in the first place. She writes, Canada's doing this. It's called MAIDs. They play pow-pow, people. They do more than pow-pow, people. These people suffer before they go. Check it out. It's in Canada and in 10 states in the United States, but nobody talks about it. It's horrific, and it is not God's will. Yeah, a lot of folks just aren't really even talking about it. Maybe it's like this dirty little secret that they're trying to keep in the shadows so they can continue to get away with it. I don't know. And then here's one from Deborah H. Nagel 9011. If this is you, shout out. Deborah writes, yes, because eggs help keep you from getting the C word. Okay, that's in reference to, I was talking about, we just got a new bunch of chickens, going to have our own eggs. Then she continues, you have to get them from private farmers. Look into MAIDs. They stop you from breathing so you don't have a comfortable death. Not like you just peacefully go to sleep into the ever after. Why is it cheaper? Maybe the drug manufacturers make more money? Well, I think the medical profession ceases to take loss. To my understanding, and again, what one of the other commenters stated, is they're really encouraging older folks who pretty much don't have any financial resources to do it. Yeah, because I guess it's a lot cheaper than extending life. So anyway, very gruesome story. I hate to be one to bring you such gruesomeness, but man, I had to share that, and I'm sure that the person that's going through that sent that email is just experiencing just hell. Oh, that would be terrible. So anyway, folks, hope you have a good rest of your weekend. It's a Saturday as of this recording. Want to give a shout out to my man Heath Forbes, who should be returning to the U.S. any minute now if he hasn't already. He successfully conquered Mount Kilimanjaro. And he did this to raise money and awareness to build wells for drinkable water for folks in Africa who wouldn't have any otherwise. Heath has a YouTube channel called Heath's House. I'm going to put the description to his YouTube channel or the link for it in the description box of this video below. And I'll also put a little 22-second video Heath made where he got to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And that's going to be at the end of this one. So click on that and you'll be able to go to his channel. Please subscribe to his channel. He's an amazing guy. He helps me coach. Our 7th and 8th grade basketball team just won the league championship. An amazing guy, great father. He's got 5 kids. veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, and still currently serves in the Army National Guard. So you're helping a hero by helping him grow his channel. Please go do that. See y'all for more next time.